Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm talking about one of my favorite pens that I have talked about before, but not in like an overview review situation. And I'm talking about the Lamy 2000. The Lamy 2000 is a gold nib pen. It's a piston filler with a hooded nib, and it's been around for quite some time, since 1966. It was designed by Mr. Mueller. But I must say that Lamy, before the 2K came out, had lots of pens that resembled this kind of aesthetic. So I have made a video about another pen of mine, an old vintage Lamy ratio, that has some of these design elements that we see in the 2K. And I have another pen, I don't exactly know which model that is, but it's also piston filler, contains actually the same piston mechanism as the Lamy 2K, that is very similar to it. It's just made of plastic. Reason I'm making this video now is that I got a package that contains, it's a box in a box. It contains a white box. I haven't opened this yet, so I hope this is what it says it is, and that is a stainless steel 2000. So I'm going to open this. I have two Makrolon 2000s. One is vintage, the shiny one, and one is just a modern one. There's a difference here, as you can see. The vintage one has an L on the barrel. So I'll compare the pens with the stainless steel, and I'll talk a little about my obsession on the Lamy 2K. But let's see what's in here, because I thought it would come in the normal Lamy box, which is about that big. It's like a coffin, like a pen coffin. So, but it doesn't apparently. I looked at the normal price for this pen at Appelboom and Akkerman, so two Dutch pen stores, and it was about $2.80 there. I paid $1.90 from Amazon. So yeah, comes in this pretty box. That's very nice. Did not know it would be in this box. The regular 2000, so the Makrolon 2000, you can get it for $140-ish on Amazon. I think you might be able to get it a tiny bit cheaper on eBay, but it hovers around that price. One of the vintage one I got for like $75. But I like to look on German eBay if I'm looking for a 2K for deals. I know there's some on there right now for $110, so you can always check that out. Ooh, so it is in the box in a display case. It's very nice. So I've been in doubt about this pen for a while, buying it, not buying it. It is very heavy, and I knew this. I've tried it at like a pen meetup. Someone had it, but the reason I bought it now, it's very heavy for me, I know this. The reason I bought it now is because I really want a finer nib on one of these 2Ks. And buying a loose nib is about $100 bucks for me, and I thought it was a waste. So it was like, oh, maybe I can just buy another Lamy 2K, like the whole body and pen nib together is like $140, or if you get one secondhand, it's $109 or $110. Then I saw this, I was like, might as well add something unique to the collection. So this is the stainless steel version. We have a Lamy logo right there. So yeah, what I'm gonna do now is switch the shot. I'll weigh the pens so you can see the weight differences. None of these are inked right now. I am gonna ink the stainless steel one. I have an extra fine nib on that one. I'm really curious as to how that is. So let's switch the shot. Okay, here we are with three different Lamy 2Ks, or more like two different Lamy 2Ks, the Makrolon and the stainless steel. I grabbed a second Makrolon because I wanted to show you the differences between the old one and the new one. So this is a modern 2K. in the Makrolon. It's very nice. It's very light and very usable. On the cap, Lamy is engraved. Very hard to show you guys, but it is. There is a silver like notch at the end of the barrel. And then when you uncap it, you see the hooded nib, a stainless steel section, a nice ink window. And what is super cool about the Makrolon Lamy 2K is that it's very hard to see where you have the piston knob. So I will unscrew it for you so you can see where the barrel ends and the piston knob starts. So it's a very nice material and it makes it look almost invisible. Capping mechanism is something I love about this pen. You have these notches that the cap basically latches onto. This is an element of this pen that people sometimes lose when they disassemble the pen. So you can disassemble the pen. I don't generally do this, only when I need to grease the piston or when I have had a very difficult ink in here. But there are elements of this pen that are easy to lose. So I would say be very, very careful when you do this. Don't do this over this sink, basically. If you lose the ring that has the notches, the cap will not stay on. And it will be nice if you have a pen with a cap that stays on. So please be careful about that. So yeah, this is the normal 2K. Okay, so the vintage Makrolon is not super different, of course, because it's the same pen. But as you can see, the finish looks slightly different, and that's because the vintage one is a little worn, so it smoothed out the Makrolon a little bit and gets this shiny look when it's like the old Lamy 2K. On the end of the piston knob, there is an L for Lamy. Old Lamy pens had this a lot. You don't see this on the newer pens. And another difference is that this cap clip does not have Lamy engraved on it. Instead of having Lamy engraved on the clip, there is an engraving on the cap. I'm going to try and get this on camera properly, but it's very small. It says Lamy 2000, and then W, Germany. So this pen is from the era when Germany was still divided. So it's a West Germany pen. So it's quite old. It's not amazingly old. I don't know exactly how old it is, but I like that. It's like a touch of history. The rest of it is basically the same. You have the stainless steel section, the notches. There's an ink window right there. This nib, I got this one for really cheap. This nib, it looks like it had an accident. And honestly, it does need some work. It does write, but it's not very comfortable. So that's my two Makrolons. I used to have three. One is currently at my fiance because I didn't need three. Gave him the first one I ever bought, which is funny. Okay, so the stainless steel. First time uncapping it. It's very heavy. It's much heavier than the other ones, and I'll do a weight test in a second. You can slightly see the ridge where the piston knob is on this one, but it has that same like brushed look, which I really like. Size-wise, it's a little bigger. So okay, so what I've heard is that the 2000 is basically a coated. So the stainless steel is a coated version of the Makrolon. I have no idea if that's true, but it might be true. Who knows? No engraving on the clip, actually. which is interesting. Also no engraving on the cap band. Oh, I see that on the inside of the clip, there's text. It says Germany, but I can't really see what it is. There's Lamy at the top here to indicate that it's a Lamy. Is it an engraving? It is an engraving. I thought it may be stamped on, but it's an engraving. So instead of that being on the clip, it's on the pen itself, on the cap. Uncapping it, the thing that you might notice most is the fact that there is no ink window. That's going to be a thing to get used to for me because I like seeing how much ink I have, but not having an ink window on this pen makes it the design very, very sleek. Like there's no interruption of that nice stainless steel, and it looks gorgeous, guys. And I must say, not having the cap on there takes away a lot of the weight, which is nice. So I would say these two are medium nibs. The Finditch one is like medium fine, but I don't like using it because it's wonky. And this is an extra fine. And I'm really curious to use it because, so Lamy has hooded nibs, right? And hooded nibs have, or these specific hooded nibs have a sweet spot. That means that if you rotate the pen too much, it won't write nicely. Lamy's 2Ks have that because their nib is not very rounded. Like there's a little squarishness to the nib. And sometimes people think, oh, my 2K is faulty. No, you just gotta find the sweet spot. That's what it generally is. So I'm really curious because the extra fine should have a smaller sweet spot than the medium. So let's hope I can write with that. Piston, very, very smooth. Moves very well. Okay, let's get to inking. I'm doing the inking off camera because I will probably have to spend some time cleaning the stainless steel because it will get into the really small, like, brushed sections. All right, let's go ink it. Oh, before I actually ink it, we have to do the weight test because doing the weight test inked is not very fair. Moving this, getting out a kitchen scale. Let's get to it. Okay, capped, 54 grams, uncapped, let's hope it doesn't roll away, 34 grams. So the cap is 20 grams, yeah. So that's quite heavy, 54 grams. This is the normal, the recent Makrolon. 25 grams, so it is less than half. And when you uncap it, it is 16 grams. So basically half the weight of the stainless steel. So keep that in mind when you're buying a 2K and you don't know which one you would like. Think about the weight because there is a significant difference there. Okay, I'm ready for my first writing experience with this pen. I inked it with Roshizuku Tsukiyo, which is a lovely blue ink. And let's go. Okay. Ooh. That is a very good nib. As you can see, for an extra fine, I would not say this is super fine, but this is definitely like a Lamy style extra fine. The medium that I have is definitely like more a broad than an actual medium. So I am going to, I'm gonna use the bleep out of this, guys. I love this nib. It is perfect. For me, a sweet spot is not really an issue right now, but I can like show you it. Look, if you rotate out, zoom in. If you rotate out of that spot, it doesn't write, but if you then go back into that spot, it writes. That's in the spot, this is out of the spot. You see? So this nib is very particular about how you use it. And there's no real like help that you get when you hold this pen, because it's so like, it's just a rounded section. What might help you if you find that you have issues and you rotate the nib while you write with it, you can try and hold it at the notches. This means that you're holding it up quite high, but it should work. Anyway, I am delighted to have this pen in my arsenal right now. This cap's a little harder than the normal 2Ks. But yeah, I'm very happy with it. I hope you enjoyed this overview. It was quite long, but I love the 2K, and yeah, I just hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, please let me know, leave them in the comments, and we'll see each other very soon again. Bye bye.